So the story begins in year 1470 when Rokabe Lintaro was born. He calls himself a mad scientist. His friends Taru and Kayuri are his lab members. They are very keen on discovering and inventing new stuff. One fine day, they learned something which shocked them to their core and was the root cause of all the trouble that was going to follow up. They discovered a new world, a new planet where time flows in opposite direction to Earth. Rokabe named this new planet as Re-Earth. Upon further research, they learnt about the life on this planet. Here, as one ages, one becomes more and more young. So the teachings also vary on that planet accordingly, where elders are asked to respect the young ones. Younger individuals are more mature and experienced. Rokabe thought that such teachings are also beneficial for Earth. On that planet, you die on the first day of your birth, contrary to Earth, where you die on the last day of your life. Rokabe Lintaro was excited about Re Earth and was constantly searching for a way to reach that planet. Then he and Taru found something very unique, that it was predestined that Earth would be blown into pieces in the year 3000 and Re Earth would be blown to pieces in the year 0. What they found out further blew their minds. Earth's time flows from 0 to the year 3000 and Re Earth's time flows from the year 3000 to 0. So, it was in the year 1500 when both the planets' coordinates would exactly match, and there was a slight possibility to reach Re Earth on 1st January year 1500 at 12 am. On further research, they concluded that it was the Steins gate connecting those two planets, but they had to open the gate exactly on the specified date and time. So they began their research with phone microwave and after so many experiments finally made a device to jump from the earth to that planet, but still they didn't know how to open the Steins gate. Another thing which blew their mind was that planet was actually a parallel world to Earth, but time flows in opposite direction there. Meaning, the day Rokabe ages and dies of old age on Earth, on that same day, Rokabe would be of 1 day old newborn on that planet and would die. This is the ideal scenario, but how would morbidities, accidents would alter this was not known yet. So Rokabe got greatly excited to know further about that planet. They kept on working hard and finally they found a way to hack into the Steins Gate. They eagerly waited for the day when the coordinates of both planets would match. Finally, that day came, but that day was the most tragic day for Rokabe and Taru. Because while these three lab members were entering the device, Kayuri got shot by Fern and she died. Rokabe and Taru were in tears. They had no option but to hurriedly board the device before it was destroyed by Fern, and then think about saving Kayuri. And yes, they successfully jumped from Earth to Re Earth. But now they had only one mission, to find out some way to save Kayuri. But how could they do this on a new unknown planet and its mysterious lifestyle? So, first of all, they had to understand this new planet before commencing their mission. They were amazed to see the life which was extremely different on that planet. The human metabolism was such that they breathed in carbon dioxide and expired oxygen. One's height gradually keeps on decreasing, and as the time would progress, hair turned from white to black. Wrinkles of your face go away, and one learns to walk without sticks as time progresses. They also found out that lifespan of each individual was fixed to 90 years. So, this also led to the discovery that on Earth you are predestined to die at the age of 90, except in cases of fatal diseases and unknown accidents. So, smoking, alcohol, was actually reducing their lifespan and it was getting subtracted from the upper limit of 90 years. So, if on Earth one individual dies at the age of 75 instead of 90, then that parallel individual on Re Earth dies at the age of 15 instead of 0. On Earth, geriatric medicine was gaining more importance. Similarly, on Re Earth, the importance of pediatricians and neonatologists was growing thanks to its system. Another thing was that one couldn't meet oneself on Re Earth, otherwise, it would create a paradox. After understanding the planet, the mission to save Kayuri began. They studied Re Earth in detail but couldn't find anything which would help them in their mission. They had only one option to modify their device so that they could time travel. But staying on Re Earth and doing so without any shelter was extremely difficult. So their first priority was to reach Earth back and then commence their mission. Taru, who was a computer hacker, modified the device and made some changes. They called it R2.0. Now, R2.0 could adjust to the varying coordinates between planets and could reach the Earth back without worrying about 1st January 1500 time 12 am. And finally, they reached Earth back. Here, they had the required equipment and finally they made a time machine. Here, you can clearly see how Fern thought of it as a possibility to gain immortality and loop following the red path. So, this was the reason of Fern's attack. Now, Rokabe and Taru mapped out their plan to follow the blue line to save Kayuri. So, previously from Re Earth, they reached Earth, and now they time traveled to 1500, the day Kayuri died. Rokawe called his past self, warning him about Kayuri's death, but whatever he tried, Kayuri would die each and every time. It was because of planets' convergence. Rokabe couldn't think of any way to save Kayuri. Then, in year 1510, Rokabe received a video file which was not that clear. It was from Re Earth from his parallel self. Video file told him to deceive the world and not to try to alter the past. So Rokabe had to change the past without actually changing the past. So now Rokabe made his final plan to deceive himself in the past and save Kayuri. Rokabe had to do something to produce exactly the same scenario but without killing Kayuri. So he thought of a plan. Now, from 1510, Rokabe time traveled to a day before Kayuri's death. After so many failed attempts to save Kayuri, he knew everything about Fern and their activities. So one day before Kayuri's death, he infiltrated Fern and replaced the bullets with fake ones. The man who would kill Kayuri now has fake bullets loaded with a drug, which on striking Kayuri would splash fake blood, and also the drug would immediately make Kayuri unconscious, thus replicating the exact same incident but without killing Kayuri. So now, Rokabe waits in his time machine for that day and observes the scene from a distance. After ensuring all that he had planned, now finally he is free. So his past self, Rokabe, has to live that same loop, jump to re earth and return, and the entire story gets repeated again, but with a major change this time, and thus ultimately saving Kayuri. Thanks, guys, for watching this spoof. I hope you liked it. And yeah, keep on watching this on loop. Thank you.